Everyone, it's RJ with Freedom Print 76, and I hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I got football on today as well. I can see it in the screen. So yeah, I'll watch football as I'm working. But hey, look, I got a new mic system. Let's see if it really works. See if you can pick up the sound quality better. So what am I doing today? I got a lot of things I'm doing today. We're going to start off with magnets. Then I got some Christmas ornaments to make. I got some T-shirts to make. I also got canvas prints to make. So I've got quite a lot of different things that I'm working on today. And I'm going to let you kind of watch as I do each one of them. So we're going to start off with changing the roll in the printer. So I'm starting with the magnets, car magnets. I'm doing them for someone in a pageant, and they're going to put them on the side of the car. I'm assuming it's the side of a car. But what I normally do is I put them on an adhesive vinyl, and then I put them on the magnet. This time, I'm going to try something different because I want it to be a little glossy. So this is glossy photo paper, but it is adhesive. So I'm going to print it on this. I'm going to have to let it dry for a few minutes because it's glossy and it's kind of a silky type thing. So it's going to take a minute or two to dry. And then I'm going to put a laminate over it so it will protect it and make it waterproof so it can last for years. But when I use that laminate sometimes on that vinyl, depending on the picture, it will make it a little dull. And I didn't want to do that with a pageant picture. So I'm going to try to print it on the glossy photo paper adhesive and then put the laminate on it. And let's see how it comes out. And I have a feeling it's going to come out really good. But let's see how we switch this out. So what I've already done, all the instructions are right here. And so I have to load roll one. It has two rolls, one on the top, one on the bottom, but I'm just going to do the top one. And right now I have in this scrim banner. Oh, I'm going to tell you, this scrim banner, it's a little heavy. So we'll take this off. And one of the things I love about this printer is when it's done and I have to switch it out, it prints that UPC code on it. So when I load it back up, it already knows what type of paper's in there, and I don't have to go through all the steps again, which is pretty nice, and it does save time. So let's put that right there. And we're going to put this back up here. You can't see, but I've got lots of different rolls of paper up there. So let's put this in. Make sure it loads properly. And then it should, if all goes well, just kind of load by itself, and it will let me know when it's ready. Close the top, then I can print it. Then we can go from there. So let's kind of see what happens. This is the first print job I've done today. So it might take a few minutes, and if it does, I'll just cut this part out of the video, and you won't see that part of it. So apparently the game is just started. It's Miami and Virginia Tech, just in case you want to know. So, okay, and then it asks if it was recently used. It was not. And then it gives me types of different paper. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to put photo paper. And then instant dry, premium. I hope they have an adhesive one in here. It doesn't look like it. This is more of a semi-gloss. Let's go with this one, and we'll go there, and it should check everything, and then hopefully it will load right up, and I can start printing here in a minute. All right, looks like everything loaded good. Next time you see me, we'll be setting everything up over here. All right, so this just came off the printer. It dried pretty quick, actually. No smudging or anything, so that's great. And this is a very nice semi-gloss. The print came out really, really good. I'm going to trim this up a little bit over here. Then I'm going to put that laminate on it. Then we're going to put it on the magnet. So we're going to see how this comes out. So far, so good. Let's just trim this up a little. You know what? I am going to do that this way so I have a straight edge over there. There we go. Trash can's over there. Sorry. All right. So guys, I'm going to tell you the toughest part of this is about to happen. It's when I put the laminate on, because once it sticks to something, I can't readjust it. And if it sticks, if I pull it up, it's going to pull all the ink up. And that's the hardest part, is making sure I get the laminate on here without messing up the print. So wish me luck on that. All right, so here's the laminate. And I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to do this. Let's just cut it first. I want a little bit of overhang, gives me a little leeway to work with. About right there. You know what? I'm gonna move this magnet a little bit first so I have a little bit more room to work with. There we go. Here we go. You know, it's so funny doing these videos because I feel like you're actually watching me as I'm doing them, and I know I'm just recording them, and if something happens, I can delete it and start over. But I don't like doing that, so I actually feel like, you know what, I really don't want to screw this up because people are watching me. But if I do, I can just delete it and start over like nothing ever happened. Let's hope that doesn't happen, though. I'd like to get it right on the first try. All right, here we go. So I'm really trying to figure out the best way to do this, because this is such a temperamental picture. When you print on photo paper, it gets very temperamental, and it's very tough to stick stuff to it. It does not like that. All right, and I've got to make sure this sticks right the first time. No playing around with this. So I don't like to have a whole lot of playroom. And let's get this down right the first time. See, and that's what I was scared of. See, that looks good, but see, there's that crease right there. And I don't know if I can get that out. The rest of it looks fine. But there's a crease right there. Not really a crease, a bubble. So I got to see if I can get that out without it creasing. So let's see what I can do with that. And it looks, hey, that doesn't look half bad. There we go. But I got a little bubble there. And we want to get that out if possible. All right, so, you know, and I'm debating, yeah, there's a little, I'm going to pop that. Yeah, that still looks good. We're still good there. Can't even tell. All right, so now, do I just pull it back, or do I run it through the laminator? What do you think I should do? I'm almost tempted to run it through the laminator, But then again, I'm tempted not to. Should we try it this way first? I don't want to screw. And kind of once you get it started, it should be. So I should be able to just roll it with this. And I'm really taking my time on this because I really don't want to screw it up. The more I'm thinking, the more I might roll it through the laminator, because this thing's getting bubbles in it, and those bubbles don't look good. And I hate to have bubbles, even though they're easy to get rid of. And you're like, well, when you poke a little hole in it, doesn't it mess up the waterproof? No, because I'm resealing it as I put it together like that. It's resealing itself. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm really thinking I'm going to run it through the laminator. I mean, it's looking like it's turning out pretty good. All right. Let's get that laminator. Let's see how this works. And see that sticky? That's what another thing I'm worried about on the laminator. Will it roll through since I've got that overlay there? But I bought that laminator for a purpose. All right, so this, in case you haven't seen any of the other ones, is a cold laminator. It doesn't need heat to laminate, basically. It was probably one of my favorite things I've bought. And it works really great on yard signs. I don't know how it works with laminate, so we're getting ready to find out. This could be a good video when I turn around and go, oh, wow, this worked great. Or it could be one of those videos, yeah, let's don't use this anymore for these. But we're going to give it a shot. And let's see. I'm going to tighten these up a little bit, though, because last time I used them, it was for a yard sign, and it doesn't need to be as thick. So let's see. It might help if I turn it around. You're like, why does it matter? Because the handle's on this side. You know what? And before I put that in there, I am going to get, I thought I had another photo paper, but I guess I don't. So I guess I'm not going to. Let me just, I'm going to sneak this in just a little bit and see. Okay, let's pick this up a little. All right, guys, I'm going to close this just a little bit more. And we're going to give this a shot. Let's see how this works. And guys, let me tell you something. I'm going to have to reprint this one, but I'm going to tell you why I'm going to have to reprint it. I should have went with the laminator to begin with, because look how nice and smooth that is right there. But where I stopped and where I tried to run it through the laminator, we see that crease. So I should have started with it to begin with and just run the laminator, because the side that went through the laminator looks really, really good. And I know you can't really see it on camera that well, but you can right there. That crease, that's my fault, because I was sitting there playing with it over here too much. So I'm going to print another one of these, and we're going to try it again. But, you know, not everything goes perfect the first try. And but I think we learn from our mistakes and we move on. So let's print another one and we'll see how the next one turns out. All right, so we just started printing the other one, and I was just going to wait till it printed out, but I want to tell you a story. So it's funny how that happened. I'm going to pull this back out. It's funny because yesterday in my class, we were watching The Profit. And The Profit is about a guy who invests in companies. And we kind of go through it, and I'll stop the video and talk about the finances and the marketing piece of it and all that. And, you know, the students really learn a lot watching real life instances like The Profit and how it works out. And yesterday I was talking about the cost of doing business, how, you know what, you're just going to lose money sometimes. It's like life. Your tire goes flat, your fridge goes out, your stove, something. Life happens and you just have to deal with it. Well, in business, it's the exact same way. Things happen in business and it costs money, and it's a cost of doing business, and sometimes you're going to lose money. So this is one of those instances. It's a cost of doing business, trial and error. I was trying something. It didn't work out exactly the way I wanted, so we're going to try it again. I think I worked it out this time, but we'll see. But again, cost of doing business. That's what happened. Okay, so we're back. But one thing I'm changing this time is I'm going to leave this little white piece on it, and I'm not going to cut it off yet. So this just reprinted. So I'm going to try this laminate again. And the reason I'm going to leave that white space on is I'm going to adhere the laminate to that piece first and then roll it through the laminator, because if you remember the last time I did it, I had a bigger piece and it creased a little bit, and I had to work that out. So hopefully, again, you learn as you go. No such thing as failure. You just learn and move on. So we're going to try this again, and hopefully we'll get a good result. I'm not going to put a whole lot of laminate on the print to start with. So if you remember last time, I really pulled that up quite a bit. Not going to do that this time. But again, this is really the toughest part of the whole process. You've got to get this laminate on there right the first time, or it's a mess after that. Well, it's not a mess. You just have to start over. And I've already lost one. I don't want to lose another one. So we're going to start right there. That turned out almost perfect. And boom, that looks great right there. So now we're going to try to run it through this laminator again and really get this thing the way we need to. So I am going to have to pull that back a little bit, it looks like, as I'm doing this. And guys, and now I want you to realize how long it took me to do that one this time. Last time I was sitting there messing with it for 5 minutes, and if I would have just done with my gut instinct the first time, it would have went great. This turned out perfect. I mean, it looks absolutely wonderful. So now I'm going to trim this off, and there is a little bit right here that is not covered with laminate. So I'm going to trim that little bit off, and then we're going to put it on the magnet. But yeah, that turned out really, really good. Really, really good. All right, so there right now we have got, I mean, it turned out great. That's what we're looking for. So it is weatherproof. It looks fantastic. And now we're just going to put it on the car magnet. So we're going to roll this out. Let's put this back over here. You know what? I am going to eventually have to get a new workstation. I say that, and I still never do it. But I do like the way that just fits right in there. So I'm going to roll this out. And match this up. And there's, you know, it's not perfect, but by the time I get and trim everything up, it's going to it's going to look just great. So we're right there. See if I can get at least somewhat of a straight cut on this. All right. Yeah, and I buy these magnets and rolls. I used to buy them by the sheet, but it's so much cheaper just buying it by the roll and cutting it however I need it. Makes things a whole lot easier. So now all we have to do, and I'm probably going to do the same thing, maybe, is run it through that laminator. Again, I'm a little nervous about that because I've gotten this far and I don't want to screw it up. Don't like screwing things up, but when I do that, here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to see if this will work with, yeah, see, I don't know why I thought of that. It's not going to work because guess what? That's a magnet. That's why I didn't do it before. That's a magnet and it's not going to roll. I can't get that through there just right and I'll screw it up. So it's sticking to that. Not a good idea. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, like I did the other ones. All right, so let's cut the bottom of this off. Want to make sure I've got it. See, though, there's the adhesive right there. All right, so we're going to do kind of the same way we did the laminate. Do that little piece there. Then we're going to put it on the magnet. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because I am going to trim everything up once I have it on there. So got it started, and then we're just going to work this, make sure we don't get it wrinkled, no bubbles. And I will tell you, this one's taken a bit longer, and the reason it's taken a bit longer because I'm talking to you and well, because I'm talking to you and making a video. That's why it's taken longer. But it looks like it is going to work out. And I'm scared to say that because I'm not done yet. I'm almost done. All right. So went on that magnet really, really good. Let's trim this up. Get that out of the way a little bit. Let's trim this up, and I think we'll be good to go. All right, hold that down. I hold it down pretty tight because I do not want that straight edge to slip. And see how that slips? And I got to make sure everything is back. And you guys, that's all it takes is one. I can be almost done, and one small screw up just cutting the edge, and it slides. I got to start the whole thing over. So you got to be really careful when you do this. And I tell you what, if I would have just messed that up right then, I would have been upset. So let's get back on this. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you something. That took a whole lot longer than I wanted it to. But again, I was kind of doing a how-to video when I did it. And guys, this turned out great. Absolutely turned out great. So how much do I make on these things? You know what? And I had someone tell me the other day, said, RJ, I love when you do these videos, how transparent you are, and you kind of just tell people the truth, and you let people know what you're making off of them. So this right here, I charge $25, as I said earlier. My all-in cost is anywhere between $7.50 and $10, but I'm just going to say $10. So I'm going to make $15 on this. And my goal is to make this in anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. And it took a little bit longer to do it this time. That means I'm making profit every 10 minutes of $15 when I'm doing this. All right. And that, to me, that, $15 profit in 10 minutes is not horrible. But the faster I can make these and get them done with quality and great work, the more money I'm going to make. So this was definitely a slow process on this one, and I still got another one to make. But guys, that is the entire process of making one of these magnets, and it turned out great. And I printed it on that glossy photo, so when I put that laminate on it, it stayed nice and bright, and it didn't take, the laminate didn't make it as dull. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got a lot more things to do today, and I'll probably make some more videos with them. We got some ornaments to make too for Christmas. I'm going to show you how I do those. Guys, peace out. Remember to dream big, pray hard, never quit.